what do you feel is the best trucking company that I can get all my endorsements and make the most amount of money with the shortest possible contract or the easiest contract to buy out of?
So shout out to this commenter. Shout out to you, man, for hooking a brother up. You sent me a super chat or a super thanks. Thank you very much for that. Along with a question that I'm going to try and answer for you. Shout out to Sunrise NYC. Thank you very much for that, man. So we're going to get into your question. Your question is, what is the best trucking company to get all your endorsements, make the most money, and still have a short, easy contract to get out of? And you continue to say that you already got an offer through Roadmaster to go to Werner, but you said that it's going to cost you about 12 to 16 grand in all. Let's try to break this down right quick, and hopefully I can help you with the answers that you're looking for.
You want answers? I think I'm entitled. You want answers? I want the truth. You can't handle the truth.
That's a real question right there. And I'm going to try and give it to you straight. See, first thing first, you're chasing three things at once, right? You're chasing the best money, the best training, endorsements, and shortest or easiest contract. See, you usually don't get all three done in one place at one shot. Something really got to give here. So let's talk about it. So let's start off with the Roadmaster Werner situation first. Now, you say that 12 to 16K, that's not just the school costs, right? That's a chokehold right there. God damn it, man. 16K in the hole before you even start. See, you're basically financing your way into a commitment. And once you're locked in,
once you in it, you in it.
And you don't have no leverage on this. Now, with Werner, yeah, they're going to train you, but they're not known for top pay starting out. I'm just saying. See, they're what I call a starter company. See, you go there, you get your experience, and that's it. You don't go there to get rich quick, because Werner is not a get rich quick company. And a lot of these mega carriers, including Werner, Swift, Senior England, they all going to play the same game. See, what they're going to do, they're going to bring you in easy, they're going to train you quick, and they're going to pay you low. And overall, it's all about moving freight. That's about it. That's their model. That's their practice right there. You want to talk about that you have a goal, right? You said long-term commitment, but you want a lot of flexibility. That's where you got to think smart, my guy, because the best move is not always the company move. It's how you enter this game. See, option one, right? Let's start with that. Option one, company paid CDL. No upfront debt, right? You come in, you get trained, you get your CDL, but you're gonna be hemmed up into a contract, right? Or you're gonna end up paying that money back. See, companies like Prime, Snyder, Rail, Swift, they'll train you, and they'll either do one or two things. They will cover your CDL up front, or they will reimburse it back to you. And I lost my light. See, some of them only require maybe around a year of commitment. Now, if you commit to it, you won't be locked into a big bill afterwards. But I've seen drivers say that prime is about a year if you can get into it. Others like Swift, they kind of like stretch it out a little bit if you want full forgiveness. A lot of drivers talk about it. So see, right there from the start, if you're looking at it from a commitment standpoint, Prime already beats Werner on flexibility. Now, option number 2 that I'm about to give you right now is to pay for the CDL yourself. That's what I did. Okay. Shout out to Tri-C Trucking Academy here in Cleveland, Ohio. They're located on Euclid Avenue. The name of the building is Tri-C Technical Transportation Center, something like that. It's a long name that I forget. I just like Tri-C Trucking Academy for short. But check them out if you're interested in getting your Class A or Class B CDL, and you can pay out of pocket. Now, I know that 12 to 16K, that's crazy work right there. It really is. But again, if you can find a inexpensive community college or trucking school for around 5K or so, then right there, you pretty much is in control. You know what I'm saying? Also, you might can look into grants that could probably pay for the CDL and you won't have to come out of the pocket at all. Again, you're in control, driver. See, you can go wherever you want after you get your CDL. But remember this, though. Remember this, right? When you go for your CDL, go for a school that's going to train you in manual. You're going to want that, because if you get trained in an automatic and you test out in the automatic, then your driver's license is going to be restricted to an automatic. Also, to circle back around on that, those trucking companies that I mentioned, Prime, Werner, CLE, CLW, or whatever, Swift Academy, they only going to train you in automatics. So automatically your CDL is going to be restricted. And if it's restricted, it's going to pretty much put you in a bind with companies that will require you to drive manuals. But again, if you pay for your own CDL, then you will have the freedom to do what you want to do as far as coming out. Now, you're going to still need that experience, but you won't be locked on your CDL because you'll be able to drive both automatic and manual. See, tanker companies, hazmat, flatbed, all of those companies right there tend to pay a little bit more, right? Me, not a flatbed guy. But if you do decide to get your hazmat and get your tankers, then you'll be able to haul more than just drive in. See, you won't be stuck, right? Not only that, but you can definitely avoid a 12K to a 16K bill, right? See, that's how I move in this industry, and that's how I think you should move in this industry, right? But you can't just do and follow what I do. You got to follow your own path. I'm just giving you options and try to point you in the right direction to get there. Okay. Now, number 3, let's talk about this for a second, right? Number 3, go where the endorsement matters, right? Because you said endorsements. You did mention that, right? You said you want your endorsements. So drive-in companies, again, like Werner, Swift, they're not going to maximize your endorsements. See, if you want money early, tankers, hazmat, and If you're a flatbed guy, that's where you might want to get your bump up right there. Those three right there. Because most of these companies want at least a little bit of experience first. So you might not be able to get it right off the rip, but if you keep it going, then you might be able to get it. Because the companies like Warner, Swift, Prime, those are just stepping stones. Let me make this absolute clear, right? Don't overthink your first company like it's going to be your final destination. See, that was the mistake I made, right? I did make mistakes when I first came out. I'm not gonna cap. I thought US Express was going to be the be all end all company until it wasn't. I thought J&R Swoogle was going to be the end all be all company until it wasn't. I thought Worcester Motorways was going to be the end all be all company until it wasn't. So just get in and get trained. And whatever you do, driver, whatever you do, don't crash. Don't get into any trouble that would jeopardize your license. Okay? Also, while you're at it, stack up your money for about 6 to 12 months. And then when you feel comfortable enough, because a lot of people say a year, I say about 2 years. If you feel comfortable. Now, if you want to leave before then, go ahead. Go ahead. Because that's when your income is going to start changing. Now, a lot of people, including myself, will say that, but I'm talking, if we're going to talk reality here, the growing rate for over-the-road truck drivers in these times is really not there. The average is about 50 to 60 cents a mile. So it really, really comes down to you and how you want to move. Because, like I said, if you do have your endorsements, then you are able to make a little bit more money. But yeah, it's going to be a little bit tough out here to find companies that will pay you what you're worth. And a lot of drivers is going to come down the pipeline and they're going to tell you that the only people, the only companies that's going to pay you what you're worth is the Russians.
Russians. Should have known.
Be careful with running with the Russians because those guys are a different type of beast. Let me just answer your question directly. The best setup based on what you want, if you want low risk, flexibility, start off with Prime and or Snyder. Easy entry, but low pay, Swift and Warner is going to be your best bet. Best long-term money strategy, in my opinion, is to get your CDL yourself and make sure that you train out on the manual so you won't be restricted. So here's my honest take on that Warner offer, okay? If you want me to be honest, if it's going to cost you about 12 to 16K, I would not touch that unless you have no other options or if somebody else is going to pay it. Because now if you go that route, you're starting your trucking career already in a hole and in debt and tied down to the company for at least a year. To be honest with you, driver, in trucking and for your self-sanity, freedom is everything. You're not choosing your forever company. You're choosing your first move. Make sure that move, driver, doesn't trap you, doesn't overcharge you, and gives you an exit that you can get out of. Because the real money in trucking comes after you get all your experience. And that's just in time because my light just went out again.